UPS is now hiring full-time seasonal driver helpers throughout Nashville. Driver helpers receive competitive pay and get picked up along their route every day. No license required. Apply now at upsjobs.com/radio. That's upsjobs.com/radio. A great job and excellent benefits are in one package, delivered by UPS. Get there at upsjobs.com/radio.
Blog Talk Radio.
There you going, baby. Here am I. Well, you left me here so I could sit and cry. Well, golly gee, what have you done to me? Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Do you remember, baby, last September, how you held me tight each and every night? Well, whoops-a-daisy, how you drove me crazy, but I guess it doesn't matter anymore. There's no use in me crying. I've done everything and now I'm sick of trying. I've thrown away my nights and wasted all my days over you. Well, you go your way and I'll go mine. Now and forever till the end of time, I'll find somebody new, baby. We'll say we're through and you won't matter anymore. There's no use in me crying. I've done everything and now I'm sick of trying. I've thrown away my nights and wasted all my days over you. Well, you go your way and I'll go mine. Now and forever till the end of time, I'll find somebody new, baby. We'll say we're through and you won't matter anymore. You won't matter anymore.
A little bit of, I was going to say Paul McCartney. There's a bit of a segue there, because Paul McCartney does actually own the rights to that song, a Buddy Holly song from way back. One of my favourites. Cannot help but sing along to that one in my own inimitable voice. It's Thursday night yet again. It is episode 21 of the New Panic Room, and welcome, listener. I hope you're having a good evening, sir. Or madam. Obviously things change. Look at Bruce Jenner, he's still a man in my book. But, it's been an interesting week. Last week was a very, very interesting week. Let's see what Xtina's, if she's still around. Are you still there, my dear?
I am.
And what? What? I'm sorry. I disturbed you again. Sorry, I've caught you mid-drink again, haven't I? I do apologise. Hey,
no,
so how are you settling into the new world with your new president-elect? I mean, how is that? Is that sunk in yet?
Not really. No, not at all. But I will say that I'm really enjoying all the memes that are popping up on Facebook where they're showing like Obama and
Biden. They are so
yes,
funny.
Oh my gosh.
I love those. I love those.
They're really good.
I like the one they said that they're going to replace all these glasses with vases, because obviously you've got a small hand, you don't be able to pick them up. You'll die of thirst. But I read a thing. A great thing said Donald Trump is actually he's going to redo the American national anthem. Did you know that? Have you heard that?
Are you joking?
No, he is. No, I'm not. Would I joke? Would I joke about something like that? I've got a snippet of it here. This is what your new national anthem is going to be. And you can just picture him running around after scantily clad women with his toupee flopping about, like a ball guy, trying to grab their pussies as they're running around the trees and in the park, So it's perfect, isn't it?
Oh, what a nightmare, though! But it's so.
That'd be good.
Oh God.
It's It's been strange. It has been a strange week, and obviously for me as an outsider, I guess, but someone who it will affect. He's still going to build the wall, although he's backtracked a little bit and said, wall. It might be a fence in places. And in other places, this might be sort of a pamphlet campaign. But he's just. This is the point. Again, it happens the world over. We used to have it in England where they would promise the absolute earth. Then the minute they get into power, they just backtrack on everything.
Yeah,
which is that's politics. I don't know who said it. I'll have to Google it. Who the quote is attributable to? Great quote. No matter who you vote for, the government gets in. Which is they're all the same. They're all the same. Left, right, middle, whatever. They're all except Hitler. He was one on his own, wasn't he? Old Adolf, bless him.
Yeah.
I
want to keep the Obamas. I do.
The Obamas has been great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I'm sitting here in Texas saying that could actually get me shot. To be honest, so they vote for their good old rootin' tootin' gun toting Bible bashing Trump supporters here, I'm afraid. So I've dropped the cap to my water bottle and it's just freaking me out because it's on the floor and my life's in a mess now. So anyway, how are you, my dear? What have you been up to this past week?
I'm good.
Sorry, I've got my cap now. I've got it.
Okay.
Life's good. Go on.
Crisis averted. Everybody, calm down. No, this week it's been a week. It's been a week. They always are. I don't know. And with the aren't holidays coming up? I think my kid has off from school coming up real soon, and I'm not ready for that. I'm not. I think that he needs to go into some kind of boot camp or something. Or
because you hate him. It's okay to hate your own children. So my therapist tells me.
I love him when he's sleeping. I love him when he's at school.
Okay, I think somebody has issues.
No, I pretty much love him all the time. Pretty much, I just don't always.
When he's not around, sounds great.
He's 12 going on 19. That age, and he knows everything, and
I have a 14-year-old, and we're going through exactly the same. Yeah,
and of course he's way taller than me, and now he thinks he can strong arm me around sometimes, and Well, I mean, he doesn't do it in a mean way or anything like that, but it's still. I'm like, dude, do you know how strong you're?
Yeah, but I think it's not that. I mean, they start flexing their, hypothetical muscles, if you like. I mean, my boy, I mean, he's taller than his mum. He's probably only just an inch and a half off me now. But yeah, they do. They start pushing back. They start testing the boundaries. I mean, it's all part of, we were that age once. I know for some of us it was a long time ago. And I tell my kids I used to have a pet dinosaur. I'm that bloody old, but. It is part of the grace. What kids do, bless them. God bless them. So I say, God bless them.
No, it was different when I was a kid. Your mom would give you that look, and you would just shut up, and you might have been thinking all those thoughts in your head, but you would never say them. And I think kids they're not as respectful as they used to be. And
I would agree. Yeah, I would agree.
So it's definitely difficult.
Yeah,
a lot more difficult. And then you listen to some of the games that they play, and Grand Theft Auto. That's a fun game to play, but the language and the things that are going on, and it's like,
I'll tell you a funny story about that. I read it online. I think it happened over in England. There's a kid playing. It was either Grand Theft Auto or a similar game and he said, he was happily playing, and he just run over some prostitutes. And to his horror, and his mum's horror, somebody obviously from the programmers had a bit of a laugh at actually, you could actually see her skirt was up, you could actually see her vagina.
Oh my God,
and
seriously?
The juxtaposition of that, so you're quite all right, he's playing a game, he's obviously underage playing this game, running prostitutes over, shooting people, blowing shit up, but heaven forbid he sees somebody's vagina. That is what freaks you out as a parent. You really need to get your priorities straight, bitch.
That's
you know,
true.
for fuck's sake, I mean, you know, if you're going to let them play that, let them see, oh, really? You know, funny, having said that, I had a coming back from gymnastics with my daughter this evening, she was telling me all the differences between penises and vaginas, which was enlightening to say the least. Enlightening. But hey, you know, it's anywho, we digress. So, do we have a show this evening? Do we? Oh, no. I mean,
we always have a show. Yes, we
thanks
always
to
have
you.
a show.
If it was down to me, there'd be nobody on. Just be me. It's just you. So what have we got going on?
Are you asking me about the guests? Or is that what you're doing?
You booked them. You should know we've got on. I know we have the delightful Kasey Hill coming up in a minute when we let her on, and then we've got J.A. Huss, who I believe is a woman. You give me these names. Why can't people use their proper names? What is wrong with these people? Seriously, how am I supposed to know? But at least I can pronounce it.
I think because I told you, I think I told you Julie. I'm pretty sure I did. So, that must be your age that's kicking in right now.
No, you sent me things to J.A. Huss, Erotica. So I'm looking forward to that part. But I spotted her on Facebook, and yes, she is a lady. So I know that, so I'm not going to embarrass myself.
Well, I think you just did that a little bit, just a tiny bit.
Me, I don't embarrass at all. In fact, the guy in the UPS store called me babe this afternoon. And he slipped.
Nice.
So I said, bye, see you, babe, mate. Don't call me babe. I'll get it where I can, So
Did you call him,
hey,
like honey or
yeah.
Snookums? I don't know.
Yeah, snuggle bunny. Snuggle bunny. No, I didn't. No. No, I did not. Maybe I should. I'll go back and maybe write him a sexy little note or something.
You could make his day, yes.
Or not. Get arrested or shot. This is Texas, remember. So hey, we have Kasey, I believe, again, unless AT&T are letting us down. Oh, hang on. Which one's Kasey's number? I've got two people on the line. Here we go. Hang on, I've got two numbers here, but which one is Kasey's? I don't know. Here we go. This is going to be fun. Let's take potluck, shall we, and see if it's Kasey. If it's not, it's just all part of the fun of the fair, isn't it? Is that Kasey?
Hello.
Hello, who's that?
This is Kasey.
Kasey, hello. So I've got two numbers up. I don't know who the other one is. Who is that? It just tells me a number. I don't know who that person is. It could be
That's why you have numbers prior.
Say what?
Probably Leah.
Oh, Leah. Yeah. Shall we find out? Hello, is that Leah?
Yes, she said it's her.
Hi, James.
Yes. How are you? Thank you for calling in.
I always do. You just sometimes forget to pick up.
All I get is a number, and I don't know whose number it is. So you have a question for Kasey, or you just lonely?
Love all three of you.
Yeah, fair enough. So Kasey's here to talk to us about. I'm going to keep Leah on the line because Leah's fun, and it's the more the merrier for me really tonight. Kasey's going to be talking to us about "Tiptoe to the Tulips," which incidentally is actually the name of a song, I believe, which is her latest poetry collection. And I think we all love a bit of poetry. Although I'm shit at poetry. I think we ascertained that a few weeks ago.
No, you're not.
I'm shit at poetry. If it doesn't rhyme, I hate it. And I just, oh no, I can't make that rhyme. What rhyme? My poem about oranges was just a disaster. It's terrible. So, Kasey, tell us about Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Max Bygraves, that's the guy who sang it. I'll try and find it while you're chatting.
Tiny Tim sang it.
Tiny Tim? Who's Tiny Tim? Who's he?
What? Who's he?
He's the guy in the Christmas Carol, Tiny Tim, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's also the guy that sang Tiptoe Through the Tulips. If you do a Google search, you'll find it.
It's really kind of creepy, too. Well, the only time I really actually remembered is from, what was it, Insidious? Was it in Insidious?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
That was so
Great
creepy.
film.
It was.
It literally scared the bejesus out of me, that film.
Yeah, me too.
The sequels were not so hot, but the first one was phenomenal. So, Kasey, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
So, tell us about Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
I started writing Tiptoe Through the Tulips last year. I had actually previously released it once before, but I pulled it from the market. The way I was advertising it was apparently the wrong way because I didn't know it was considered dark poetry until someone told me it was. So I renamed it, gave it a facelift, and put it through Jaded Books Publishing. It's really a journey of mine that I went through since 2009. My mom passed away in 2009, and really it's a tribute book to her.
In that cut.
What makes poetry dark? Sorry again, I'm absolutely, completely, 100% ignorant when it comes to poetry. What makes poetry dark or not dark? Is it the subject matter, how it's written, or?
Yeah, it all comes down to how it's written. Since mine's focused around like death, grief, loss, and emotional instability and everything like that, it's considered poetry because it's not white and fluffy and bunnies and unicorns and everybody lives happily ever after.
I think we all like bunnies. Who doesn't like bunnies? We should have a phone in. People who don't like bunnies.
No, I agree.
Here's a fascinating fact for you. Did you know that rabbits actually do eat their own shit?
Oh my God.
The food because they obviously mostly cellulose, and it's true. They have the food passes through them twice. First time it comes out white when they're in the burrow at night, and they eat it, and then it goes through. It's the equivalent of cows chewing the cud. I mean, cows obviously have to have four stomachs to circulate stuff around, but rabbits, they actually eat their own poo. So there you go. Something to not like about bunnies. Dirty bastards.
I could have lived without that information. I would have been okay because there's actually a bunny in the house. So, now I have to think every time I look at this fucking bunny.
when you're asleep in your bed, he's snuggled up in his little bed there eating his poo. There you go.
Okay, now back to the dark poetry here, because I wanted to say that, I think that some people think when, you hear dark poetry, that's going to all be this, dark killing and demon stuff and things like that. But it's really just anything, like Kasey said, anything that's not light and fluffy and frilly and, lovey-dovey and stuff like that could be considered dark. Even sad and heartbreak and stuff like that I would consider as dark,
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Right. I'm none the wiser. So there was a man from Nantucket. So I enjoy I do enjoy reading poetry, but I gave up trying to write it a long time ago. You enjoy it so much. You enjoy reading it so much. Is that why you've neglected to read Dark Musings? Is that one of the reasons? I have it on my shelf. I have it. Shut up. Yeah. See. Did you just tell me shut up? Yeah, shut up. You don't know I haven't read it. I do know.
How do you know I haven't read it? Because I don't know. I got nothing.
Ah,
I'm
you
assuming.
see, you are making assumptions. I haven't read it. I may well have read it. You haven't read Pede. You haven't read my awesome creature feature Pede, have you?
No, but I did read
No,
Colton.
there you go.
Colton, so.
Colton is instant classic. Was Colton instant classic?
I agree with that.
So,
so I want to put Kasey on the spot here and ask her for a reading.
Oh, cruel! I hope she's prepared something.
I know, right? Where she can say anything.
I'm prepared.
Oh, thank goodness for that. So one of these days, Xtina's going to do that, and a listener guest is going to say, "What? A what now?" I mean, remember we had the one guy who made me read it for him, which was fun. And was it last week, the week before, where we did like the double act? That was fun.
That was so good.
I really enjoyed. We should do radio play, little short 3-minute plays. I would love that.
Are you going to write the play?
No, I don't talk enough. I'm too busy. I'm too busy. If I haven't got enough time to read your book, never mind write another one. So,
that would be entertaining, though.
Kasey, we're going to give you 5 minutes. Read as much as you can in 5 minutes. Go.
All right. The one poem that I chose from Tiptoe Through the Tulips is called Deaf Ears. The field is empty and cold. I sit at your feet with my heart heavier than ever. I speak to you as the wind blows past my face, the cold air burning my face. Tears stream down as I plead with you for an answer to everything that holds me back. The response falls silent to my deaf ears. I desperately need to hear your voice, to hear your words of wisdom and truth. Your silent response echoes deepest in my heart. The tears stream down as I beg with you. I need your answer to move on. I need your answer to continue on through life. I cannot look up from where I sit. I stare at the flowers I have brought you, the gift from my heart. Oh, how you love your flowers. The warm smell of beautiful notes that fill the empty voids of space. I close my eyes and rock back and forth, wanting to hear you say the words, wanting to hear your voice, the voice of reason, the voice of love, but yet again, the sound of your voice falls on my deaf ears. I wipe away the tears that have betrayed my mind. I promise to be strong. I promise to not cry. I promise that I will take each word to heart, but the words are silent. Still, I stand from your feet and open my eyes. The light from the sun is blinding as it bounces from your reflective emanation. I reach out to touch your face, but I keep reaching on. I fall to my knees in despair, grasping your flowers tight in my hands. Why won't you listen to my pleading heart? Why won't you answer me back when I ask? Why didn't you stay with me forever, just as you promised you would? Why did you leave me torn into pieces? I should be whole. I should be happy, but I'm not. You left me without letting me know why. Why? I demand to know why, but your answer still falls on my deaf ears. I walk from your feet, the reflecting light bouncing in my eyes. I walk closer to your heart, and I lay down your flowers right there on the mound of dirt in this freezing February air.
I really like that one, but oh my
goodness,
it's so gosh, it's so sad. It really is. I can, I can feel the cold, and it makes me sad. It does.
So what inspired that particular one, Kasey?
That actually happened when my mom died. Every chance that I could get, I went to her grave, and if it hadn't been for a few family members, I would have actually slept on her grave throughout the night if it weren't for them telling me to come home or anything like that. And it hit me really, really hard when she died. I was 22 weeks away from graduating from college, and she had started getting better from a stroke that she had, and her death hit us completely out of the blue. She had been recovering, she had been getting better, and then all of a sudden one morning we woke up and she was dying, and she died right in front of me, died in my brother's arms. And ever since then it's been a really tough time for me, and the way I went through it and coped through it is I wrote poetry.
And
wow.
writing the poetry, I've always felt it helps. It helps get it out. It's like definitely therapeutic. It always has been for me. Do you find that as well with you?
Yes, it's extremely therapeutic. A lot of the poems, even as I'm writing them, I'll cry through writing them, but I'll feel better after I get it all out of my system.
Mm-hmm,
and I felt it really has helped me a lot in the past year writing what poetry I have for Tiptoe and getting it out of my system.
Yeah. I know that there was I don't know how many years back I had this terrible breakup, and I remember feeling the pain. It was like physical, and I started writing. I was at work actually one night, and the whole stanzas would start coming to me, and it's like I couldn't do anything until I got these out, and that poem actually turned out to be the very first one that I put into Dark Musings. And even now, when I go back and read it, I can remember that pain that I was experiencing. You know, when I wrote it, it's no, I don't think there's quite any better therapy sometimes than writing.
No, I think you're right. I mean, it's I guess, you know, writers, I suppose, any creative people, you know, we have that, I guess, as therapy. You know, you can, if you can write it out, it's you know, I find, you know, it does help. You know, I lost my mother a lot of years ago. You know, but it certainly helps to get your head straight, and just almost just getting it out on the page is just like, you know, scooping it out with a spoon. You know, it's you know, so I guess, you know, certainly writers, you know, we're sort of fortunate in that respect. You know, yeah, heavy stuff.
Yeah. So what are you working on now, Kasey?
I have one poetry book that I'm hoping to release by the end of the year called Angels on the Moon. It is a poetic narrative about a fallen angel that falls from grace. She's broken into, betrayed by her angelic lover, and she goes through a journey trying to retain her wings once more and to get back into the light.
I was going to make a joke and say, I wonder why that sounds so familiar. No, it's really good, and I can't.
Sorry, I don't get it. I don't get the joke.
I edited it. That's why.
Oh, you should have explained that, because the listener doesn't know that, does he? He's sat at home thinking, he's sat there on his couch with his dead mother, thinking,
this is the second time
I don't understand this.
Wait, this is the second time he said the listener, so there's just one listener, one lone listener out there.
Just our listener, yeah, bless him. Bless him.
I think there may be a few more.
No, he's sat there trying to ignore the smell of, you know, the dead hookers coming up from his basement, and he's trying to listen to the show. Thinking, why does it sound familiar to Xtina? What does she know?
Oh my God. Okay. Anyway. Well, I hate to say it, but I think our time is just about up, Kasey. But will you come back and see us again?
Of course.
Of course, if I stalk you enough, right?
It's kind of hard to stalk your boss. I mean, I'm pretty much stalking you as it is.
Okay, well, you know, consider yourself even stalked more then. So, yeah, when the next...
Which means, for God's sake, Xtina, don't forget to do the plug. Otherwise, you're going to be in more trouble tomorrow.
I won't.
Okay, do the plug now while she's on, then she knows you've done it.
Okay, let's see.
Go for it.
Check out Jada Books Publishing's website to learn more about their authors and upcoming releases at www.jadabookspublishing.com. Jada Books Publishing is accepting submissions for a number of different anthologies. Slashing Through the Snow, it's a Christmas anthology. Beautiful Tragedies, it's a dark poetry anthology. And then we have shopping list and still an untitled taboo. Oh, it's actually
it
has
a name now. It does have a name. And do you know what? Can you remember what it is?
Oh, something about bootleg.
It's the Big Book of Bootleg Horror.
There we go.
That's my baby. That I'm particularly proud of that.
I know. I can't wait. Please see their website and Facebook or Facebook page for submission guidelines. You can find James at his website, www.jameslongmore.com. And I have an author page on the Jaded website, www.jadedbookspublishing.com. And don't forget to follow the Panic Room Radio Show on social media, our Facebook page unofficial, The Panic Room Radio Show, Twitter at Panic Room Radio, our YouTube channel, The New Panic Room Radio Show, and come visit our website, www.panicroomradio.com. Yay!
Awesome. I think you remembered everything. How did she do, Kasey?
She made an A+ on that one.
There you go. Well done. Right, we're going to have a break now, so I need to go and empty the old bladder because I am getting that old now. Thank you for joining us, Kasey, and we'll play you out, and we will see you next time around.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good to me.
Okay, have a great rest of your evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
In Napoli, where love is king, when boy meets girl, here's what they say. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore. Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you'll sing Vita Bella. Hearts will play tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella. When the stars make you drool, just like a pasta fazool, that's amore. When you dance down the street with a cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signore. Scusa me, but you see, back in old Napoli, that's amore. When the moon hits your eye like a big piece of pie, that's amore. That's amore. When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore. That's amore.
Bells will ring,
Ding-a-ling-a-ling,
ding-a-ling-a-ling,
and you'll sing Vita Bella.
Vita Bella, Vita Bella. Hearts will play,
Tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella.
Lucky fella.
When the stars make you drool just like pasta fazool, that's amore. That's amore. When you dance down the street with the cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signore. Scusa me, but you see, back in old Napoli, that's amore. Amore, that's amore.
A little bit of Dean Martin there, and I thought I'd try and set the mood for our next guest, who is an authoress of erotica. So that was the most erotic song I could think of, and a great line for Xtina as well there. When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine. So I'm guessing for Xtina the world shines you know, a lot. What was that? Sorry, what a second. Just a second. I wasn't really having a wee. I was just waterboarding a gerbil. There you go. That's done now. So, fruit flies. We had a problem with fruit flies. We have the listener probably has gathered by now. We have an array of bizarre animals living in his house, aside from the children, and we have crates of crickets to feed the lizards and bits and pieces. And we were told the best thing to just chuck half an orange in. And so we're having all these oranges lying around. So we got to deal with a massive fruit fly problem. In fact, there's one buzzing around me now. So we try, obviously think about the environment and can't be spraying DDT or whatever they put in fly spray these days around. So the wife suggested this holistic, natural fly spray that's based on lavender. The essential oil lavender in it that's supposed to be like brilliant. Absolute rubbish, to be honest. All it's done is make all the fruit flies in our house smell nice. Seriously, you spray it, they fly. You spray it, and they just fly by. Flip you the burn. Yeah, fuck you, fat boy. You know we're off. Yeah.
So let's see. So far tonight we've had rabbits that eat their own poo, and now fruit flies. So yeah.
Fruit flies that smell nice. Yeah. So I was going to say. So the remedy, I've actually solved it. Is I've banned fruit from the house.
There you go. Yeah.
Instead of fruit, I mean, the kids eat chocolate. So there you go. Starbursts. That's fruit.
Oh, it is.
Starburst is fruit. So
yeah, but I'm thinking if you opened up the packages and leave the Starburst around, you still could attract, gnats, and gnats are just as bad as fruit flies, aren't they? I think they are.
What are gnats here? I mean, gnats are sort of like mosquitoes light. I mean, I don't know, tiny mosquitoes don't bite anybody in England. They're just a bit shit, to be honest. It's like, what is the point of you? You're an insect. You don't do anything. Why bother, really? To be honest,
they're still a nuisance, though. They really are a nuisance, I think. Yeah.
Well, it's like what are the? It's funny. My wife's from here. Clearly, I'm not. And it was the concept of no-see-ums. I mean, that's not a text and there's no. Well, I can fucking see them. So they're actually see-ums. I mean, don't call them no-see-ums. There they are in that cloud in the backyard. They're see-ums. So they're there. For fuck's sake, I mean, really?
Who came up with that stupid name? Yeah.
I don't know. Some idiot. Somebody who doesn't know anything. Anywho, we have Julie, or J.A. Are you there?
I'm there.
J.A.
I'm here.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm tremendous, actually. I'm having a great time tonight. It's just, you could probably, and I haven't been drinking. Unlike Xtina, I've not been drinking at all yet. So there she goes again. You really need to sort of cut down a little bit, Xtina. So is it Julie or Jay? How do we address you, Mom?
Julie, you could go with Julie. That's fine.
Let's go with Julie. I like that. And my first girlfriend actually was called Julie. Back in the old days, so I can remember that. So, you're going to be talking to us tonight about your it's erotica, I believe, yeah, the Turning series, yeah.
Yeah, the Turning series. I don't really think it's erotica. It's kind of dark, erotic suspense, I guess. But
awesome.
There's a lot of story in there, so I wouldn't really call it erotica. Just because there's a lot of romantic suspense in my books.
Awesome. So, blame Xtina. She's written erotica here, so it's entirely her fault.
I know that she has. I mean, I know that she does write dark because I read Meet Me in the Dark, and I loved that. And I would definitely classify that as dark, maybe dark erotica, but yeah, definitely. But I just wanted you to know it wasn't strictly horror, James. Geez, she's got to call me out,
Well, duh.
It's not horror. So it can be a little horrific, but not really horror.
So, is it like a serial? Is that or because that was a
no.
I mean, no.
It's going to be a series, but they're full-length books. They're not serials. So they're all full-length books there. And it's basically about just the dark underbelly of a certain city and the people like who live in that world, and a girl who's really on the up and up, and she's going places, and she's got a great career, and she's bored. So she's interested in maybe spicing things up a little bit. So that's how it starts. And it all comes with a very unusual proposition that involves sort of a menage relationship with three men, but not really. It's got a little twist to it, and I don't give away any of the twists, of course, because that's the suspense part. But there's a lot of twists in this one, just like my other dark eroticas. They always have a twist in them.
Yeah, I know. And I have to say, I was looking at your Amazon page earlier today, and I love your covers. You have such really hot covers of your books. You really do.
Oh, thank you. I make them myself, so thank you.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that let's see, what was that one? 321. I loved the cover of that one. That was such a good cover. No, they're really good.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
So I'm actually looking now.
So I was wondering, when you're not busy writing, who do you like to read?
Well, you guys are going to probably laugh, but I don't read any romance. I don't read romance at all. I have read romance, and when I do, I like the dark romance. But I usually read science fiction. I'm a science fiction reader, so that's what I read.
Awesome. Who are your favourites? I used to be a big science fiction fan. Do you like the more modern stuff, or the classics, the Heinleins and Arthur C. Clarke?
I like definitely the modern. I have read some Heinlein, of course. Everybody who likes science fiction probably has, but But yeah, like Richard K. Morgan, Altered Carbon, that whole series, that's like my favorite series in the whole wide world. And I like some space opera, but not really the new stuff they have out. I don't read any of the new space opera, but I do like the stuff that's a little bit older, like early 2000s and before.
Well, that's that for me is modern. You know, it's yeah. So I don't know. I think I just went through the phase, sci-fi phase, again a long time ago. I think Ursula Le Guin was probably one of my favourites. I mean, she was just, the whole world and the universe that she used to create was just I think I probably got to a point where it just got beyond me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've actually never read her, so.
Oh, you should. I mean, some of the stuff was just amazing. I mean, again, as I said before, I mean, I'm sounding like a crap writer now. I can't write poetry. Science fiction, I would love to write science fiction, but just creating that whole alternate universe, whole future thing is just, I just find it daunting, to be honest. I'd love to read it, but, to write. Is it something you think you would ever be able to write, Julie?
I have written. That's how I started. Actually, I started writing.
Oh wow!
Fiction. So I have a 6-book series. That was my first books that I ever put out. So I did do that, and I have another one coming up at the end of 2017, maybe early 2018. So yeah, I'm definitely going to write some more.
Awesome. That I will look out for, definitely. That sounds great.
Yeah, I can't contribute a whole lot when it comes to science fiction. The closest I think I can come to anything science fiction was when I watched Firefly. that's all I got. What?
No,
that
hey,
was a
do you
good
know?
show. Did you see it?
I've been trying to get into it. I have it. And everyone said, you're going to watch Firefly, for finally, and I'm sort of 2/3 the way through the pilot, and I just can't get into it. I'm the same with The Walking Dead. I cannot get into it. If it doesn't grab me within the first 10 minutes, I'm just, nah. And I don't know, it just doesn't...
I think Firefly is like it's really popular. It didn't run very long though. I think there's only like
it went one season and then they cancelled it. Yeah.
But I think it's really popular because it's a little bit fluffy. You know what I mean? It's kind of fluffy, and I really like the dark science fiction. Like if it's not about an anti-hero, I'm not interested in it. Like I'm just not interested in those good guys. You know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No,
for me, it was. I don't know if it was deliberate or not. I mean, it was almost like a western. It's like watching a western.
Yeah.
That was the feeling I got, and I'm not a big western fan. I think maybe that's what sort of spoiled it for me.
See, I think that's what did it for me. I really don't like science fiction, and I don't like western. So when I started watching the show, right away I had a prejudice against it, and I ended up really loving the show. I really did. But then again, I have to say I love Joss Whedon, whatever his name is. You know, he did Buffy and Angel, and I was a huge Buffy and Angel fan. So, and I liked the characters. I liked the people. So it was good for me, even though I'm not a science fiction or a western fan. I thought it was really good, and you know, I would have watched it more. So.
Well, you know what's interesting is that HBO has a new show on called Westworld. Have you guys heard of that one?
Do you know, I'm looking forward to getting into that. Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's a little bit slow, but it's got some really cool concepts, and it's also science fiction / western, but it has a twist on it, and so I am enjoying that show as it goes along.
Did you see the original movie?
I didn't know.
The original movie, I mean, I forget, it was maybe 70s, 80s. I mean, it was a long, long time ago. I remember it had Yul Brynner in it. I mean, it's based on a Michael Crichton novel, so it's like a precursor to Jurassic Park. You know, the basic idea is the same, pretty much. It's just here's a theme park and shit goes wrong. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm just working my way through Channel Zero, Candle Cove at the moment, which is it's a Netflix original, which is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen it, see it. You've got to see it. It is a brilliant, brilliant piece of work. It's if you liked Stranger Things, you will love Candle Cove. It is. That was great. You know, Candle Cove is similar. You know, similar sort of feel to it. It's not set in the 80s, but it's that same sort of claustrophobic, small town with things going on sort of thing. Is involved, creepy kid. It is. It's a 6-parter. I would highly recommend it. But I'm going to get through that, and then I'm going to start on Westworld. So I like to binge watch.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, highly recommend it.
So, Julie, I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you if you have a reading for us.
I guess I can. I can read it. I think most of my fans have already read it. They're going a little crazy for this one. But this is a little excerpt that I wrote for the Turning Series Book 1, which the title has not yet been released. It'll be released in about 2 weeks with the cover. So this is the Turning Series Book 1. And I don't think this is going to be in the book, but it kind of sums up what the whole book is about. So here I go. I heard the door opened and closed and said nothing, and the footsteps coming down the hallway towards the bedroom. I even heard him say, "Hey," so softly. "You awake?" Like he didn't want to wake me. I listened as he stepped into the closet. There was that slick sound a man makes when he pulls his tie through his shirt collar. I heard the unclasping of his watch, the jingle of his belt buckle, and the shuffle of his pants as they dropped to the floor. I even heard his moan as he stood over me. I could feel his shadow from the street lamp outside like it was heat. Then the bed creaked, the mattress sank, and his warm, hard body straddled me. Still, I said nothing. I just buried my face in the sweet scent of the pillow and closed my eyes, feigning sleep. Rochelle, he whispered, leaning over me. His fingertips gently brushed the hair away from my shoulder. His mouth pressed against my skin. Did you miss me? God, I've missed you. 2 weeks is too long. We need to renegotiate. He nipped my neck, kissed it, licked my ear as he positioned himself to begin. And I said nothing, even though my name is not Rochelle. That's why I'm here, tied up and gagged inside the closet, sitting in the dark as 3 men on the other side of the door argue about where Rochelle went, why I was in her bed, and what they should do next. I should be scared, but I'm not. I should be screaming, but I won't, because this just feels very, very right. And the only thing on my mind is what will happen next. And that's like the little intro to the book.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God, I like that.
Certainly sets the atmosphere, yeah. It's all sorts of weird things going off in my head. But we'll not go there right now, okay, you know. No, that was... I like the style. I mean, you read it beautifully, I have to say. Yeah, that's great. So what did happen to Rochelle? Is that sort of?
She's not going to.
I need to know. I'm going to worry now. I shall worry.
Well,
what happened to Rochelle? Come on.
It's a big mystery in the first book. So that's like a theme that goes through it. So who is this girl in this bed that belongs to Rochelle, and where did she go, and like why is this girl here? So that's how it starts. The main character, he just, like I said, she's bored in her life, and she just wants something else to happen. So she's going to make it happen.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. So, yeah, I mean, what again, I stereotypical question, I guess, but, you know, what influenced you with this? I mean, what did you draw from?
So that's a really funny story, actually, because did you guys ever watch Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Bits, yeah. So there was this episode about something to do with the man hands. Do you remember the man hands, Xtina?
Oh, God, I do. Yeah, I do.
Okay, remember the girlfriend with the man hands? And she was, like, really pretty. But she had these awfully big, like, man hands. And so George steals a picture of her out of Jerry's wallet, and he, like, uses it to get into, like, this forbidden underground club filled with nothing but, like, sexy models. And he called it the Forbidden City. And, like, the only reason he got in is because he said man hands was his fiancée, and she died. And, like, they felt sorry for him and, like, let him in the club. But then, like, when he lost the picture, he was out of the club. So it was just kind of a funny episode. So believe it or not, this very, very dark, erotic book is based on that Seinfeld episode.
Nice.
Cool. I like it.
It's
interesting that your mind went there, watching, you know, classic comedy, I guess.
Yeah, I was scrolling. Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Oh, I was scrolling through Facebook earlier today, and I ran across another story where an author was talking about where they got their inspiration from, and it was something so little, so nothing. And they're like, you know, I had characters and the whole plot and everything just from something tiny, you know. So it is weird to see what you know, where people get their ideas from. It's pretty interesting.
So I was well, I wonder what J.A. Huss's Forbidden City would look like, and I'm like, oh God, I could totally go there.
Awesome. He sounds like a fun place.
Right. Yeah. So that's how it started.
That's cool. I mean, it's interesting. Again, we speak to a lot of writers on the show. What can trigger. It can be anything, like as Xtina said. What can trigger that train of thought? A series of events that spark off in your brain and the connections that it makes. To from one thing to something completely different. But only we know. I mean, only we know what sparked it, I guess. Although sometimes we don't. Sometimes I remember reading an article about J.K. Rowling saying that she just woke up one morning and the whole Harry Potter, the whole series was just there in her head, characters and everything, fully formed. She just had to write it down, which is awesome. It's and yet sometimes you really have to slog at it. It's just
usually, like when I come up with an idea, I came up with that idea almost 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago at least. So I think about them for a really long time before I start writing them. And I have not written this book yet. It's going to release January 18th, and I will have it done. But I've been thinking about it so long. Like, I have all 3 books in my head already. So I kind of do it that way so I can write really fast. But my ideas usually take a pretty long time to, like, sit around in my brain before I start writing.
Yeah.
And you find they need to ferment for a while, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I it's usually, I'm usually, although it's funny enough, again, odd story. The first book that I actually had accepted by a publisher, which was accepted 3 years ago, which is not actually out until this new year coming up, for one reason or another, which with a different publisher. I'm not going to go into details, but that actually came to. I had a had a dream about a large-breasted woman in a swimming pool with her boyfriend. And the whole thing, so I kid you not, the whole story was formed around that one scene, which is great scene. But everything, that is like the pivotal moment. But everything sort of just slotted around that one idea. And it literally, like you say, it just came. I just sat and just spat it out, and within 4 or 5 weeks, it was there. It's been through a few revisions and a lot of editing since, but, and yeah, say sometimes, you have a rough idea and it's like pulling teeth, trying to get it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I've tried to write a book just off of a very new idea, and I don't think the books turn out as well, and I think it's a lot harder to do. So usually, sometimes I think about them for years and years. Like I have, my whole next year is planned, because I've been thinking about every one of those books for a long, long time now. So, yeah, that's just people, like everybody has their own method of how they write. And if you're a quick writer like I am, everybody has their method. And this is just mine. Like I need to think about them for a really long time. And then once I get everything in, all my hot points, then I just go. And I usually kick out a book in 4 weeks. So.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, I hate that our time is running out. I do.
We need a longer show, Xtina.
I know. We were talking about that, remember?
Oh, yeah.
When your book, when the first one comes out, will you come back and see us?
Sure.
Yay! I will definitely.
Yeah, we will have you back on then. Yeah, that'll be great.
Okay, that sounds good.
Julie, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Julie.
You guys. Have a good night.
Okay, and
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Right, time for us to say goodbye now, and we will see, not next week, because it's Thanksgiving and I'll be stuffed full of turkey, so the week after, we will see you then. Say goodbye, Xtina.
Goodbye, Xtina.
UPS is now hiring full-time seasonal driver helpers throughout Nashville. Driver helpers receive competitive pay and get picked up along their route every day. No license required. Apply now at upsjobs.com/radio. That's upsjobs.com/radio. A great job and excellent benefits are in one package, delivered by UPS. Get there at upsjobs.com/radio. UPS is now hiring full-time seasonal driver helpers throughout Nashville. Driver helpers receive competitive pay and get picked up along their route every day. No license required. Apply now at upsjobs.com/radio. That's upsjobs.com/radio. A great job and excellent benefits are in one package, delivered by UPS.